anthropologist tasked with that job may not be able to find out either. The attorney for Brian's parents, Stephen Bertolino, tells us that when the examination is over, Brian's remains will be cremated. He added there will be no funeral. But that's really all his parents are saying. Because Chris and Roberta Laundrie have left their Northport home for an unknown location to reportedly grieve privately. I'm joined by Brian Enton, who is live with us now in Florida. So, Brian, where are the Laundries?
That's a good question, actually. We don't know. What I can tell you is over the weekend, Chris Laundrie came outside the house and put these no trespassing signs in the front yard. The minute I saw him doing that, I thought to myself, I think he might be planning to leave. And that's exactly what happened. Yesterday morning, around 9 a.m., he put some boxes into the truck ahead of time. Roberta had a backpack. They got into the red truck and they left. The only thing Steve Bertolino, the Laundrie's attorney, will tell us is that they are somewhere in Florida right now grieving the loss of their son.
I think a lot of people were really wondering after the news, broke that he was indeed dead, that they'd identified those remains as his. If people would just sort of back away and leave the little yellow bungalow alone. But he saw the need to put up the no trespassing signs. Why is that?
Well, there have still been people in
Obviously,
the area,
you don't want anybody on your yard.
shouting,
What are you saying?
Some new signs have
But
gone up. It hasn't really quieted down much.
So
On the
this
street, at
is
least over the weekend and on Friday.
the subject
Today,
that we will be discussing. Right now, we're listening to the Banfield report and Brian Enton. And Brian Enton, I know for sure, has been standing in front of the laundry home for at least a month.
So are you surprised at the announcement that there will be no funeral?
This guy, Brian Laundrie,
or is that even
killed
true?
his little
Maybe
pretty
there will be one that
girlfriend,
just won't
and
involve
then
any publicity.
the white girl missing syndrome took over the world, and the rest of the world has been basically
cremated. We know that all that's left of his remains right now.
Flabbergasted by the way white privilege got the little white girl, Gabby Petito, murdered by this white boy. Then the white boy tricked the police, and then he came home and tricked his mom and dad. Then he went and tried to trick the alligators, but the alligators tricked his ass, basically, and he ended up dead. Now, the whole world was looking for him and accusing the family of all sorts of things for like months on end, and basically, Brian Enton, this young man you're looking at right now, has been covering the whole story. Gabby Petito, and you can reach her at Gabs Petito at on Instagram. She started out on a little van life trip in and left out with her little boyfriend Brian, and they went out to Wyoming, Utah, the Grand Teton forests and all of this stuff, and they were living out the back of the van. They got pulled over by the police after being reported having an argument, and the police let them go, gave Brian Laundrie a motel room, and gave her the keys to the car, and she ended up dead a couple of weeks later. Then all of a sudden Brian disappeared, and nobody knew where he was, and the whole world was just making up all kinds of stories and hating his parents and saying what they thought the parents did wrong, and it turns out the little boy was dead. But here's the thing. A lot of people have been wondering why there's so much concern over this one young white girl and this little white boy when so many other people have been murdered and disappeared and come up missing and found dead bodies. And, they're even concerned about this water bottle. Like, really? I'm pretty sure there's plenty of children missing from Alabama and Mississippi, Long Beach, California, even the young black girl who left the police station in the middle of the night ended up dead and murdered. Nobody cared about that. But boy, they're really on this one. This little blue-eyed, blonde-haired girl, Gabby Petito, and this little crazy little boy. He used to be fat. Now he's very skinny. Matter of fact, he's just bones, according to the autopsy report. So, anyway, so this is the Banfield report that you were looking at, News Nation. And again, that was the young man, Brian Enton, doing his report on Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito murders and suicide and or death. Because, quite frankly, I think the alligators ate his punk ass. But that's another story, right? So, with that being said,